So here we go. Things I do with a mouse. Starting with ProTech.
The mouse. This mouse, well, not this mouse, but the mouse is what.
It's a mouse. Let's just pause to take in. That is a glorious image on. Is that a stock Amiga 500? Looks pretty high resolution. And a very upmarket looking energy drink on the desk.
Made me start doing graphics on the Amiga.
Oh, it's RTG. Okay.
Joining the demo scene. And through joining the demo scene, go to a lot of cool demo scene parties and meeting a lot of very cool people.
He's already the coolest man in the room. He goes to demo scene parties. Honestly, how are we supposed to compete with this man?
So in a way, I owe it to the mouse a lot of the people I know. Especially, don't tell my normal friends, but the coolest ones. And the mouse is what made me go into doing creative stuff. Regarding the demo scene, this year there is a new demo scene party in Norway called Black Valley. So be sure to go visit us in Norway.
Black Valley.
It hasn't been a demo scene party in Norway since Storskogen closed down a few years back. This was the invite demo we made for Storskogen, the Commodore 64, in 2008. Cheers. Remember to enjoy
It's an IPA.
the mouse.
Enjoy the mouse. Okay, so I think I've found what you've been talking about. I'm going to put a link in the chat. blackvalley.party. A new summer demo party in Oslo, Norway, brought to you by experienced organisers from previous editions of Solskogen and Kindergarten and Evoke, plus some fresh blood. We intend to put a smile on your face this coming July with new and old friends from the demo scene. Nice. 15th to the 17th of July 2022. Good. I wish I could get over there. I don't think I'm going to be able to, but one day I will get to a proper demo party. And if you want to, ProTech, in future, whatever the topic of the monthly live stream is, send us a little video from the party and we can play that. I think people would be interested to see as a new party how it goes. Thank you. And that impressive looking artwork. Yeah, what is that, Brilliance, or what package are you using there? What do you use to do your artwork with? Reese, thank you for the bits. Could do a watch party. Oh, P Paint and TV Paint. I've not heard of TV Paint. But then that's why you're so good at what you do. And I'm not. The next video comes from Pajaco 6502, who is a very helpful contributor to This Week in Retro over on the subreddit. So thank you for everything that you do for the show. Let's see his video.
Hi folks. Ooh.
And that's the end of the video. I'm joking. Let's go.
Folks. Ooh. Gotcha. Bloomin' mouse infestation again.
And boy, what an infestation I have. I've had some fun with these mice over the years, so let's take a look at some of it. I've fought wars, shot people in the face, solved mind-bending puzzles.
This is the first time I've ever tried it on people.
Slaughtered thousands of lemmings, and even rescued the odd damsel in distress. Why does the shadow not go in front of the pillar and learn to play poker?
No! I've fallen and I can't get up.
I've probably even broken the law. But let's take a look at some of my really early D-Paint stuff.
Oh, so this is Pajaco's own artwork. From one artist to another.
Some Mortal Kombat lemmings.
Tiny, tiny Mortal Kombat figures. I like them. Did they ever make it into a game?
Some Star Trek TNG lemmings.
Oh, they went quickly.
This weird Egyptian pillar. Oh, pallet cycling, cool. More pallet cycling, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Some Who Rogered the Framing Rabbit artwork. Ooh, Disney copyright infringement. These two guys, remember them? And this one, they're in just 16 colours.
Look at that. How old were you when you drew this, Pajaco? Because I can imagine myself as, say, like a 16-year-old trying to draw something like that and it being absolutely awful. 12. Wow.
Pallet cycling animation. Nice. And this little guy's called Ralph. But I
Oh, Ralph's gone.
certainly wouldn't be giving up my day job to do this. Although I did do a stint as a pixel artist for a small mobile games company in Cambridge.
Sorry, I'm just pausing it to have a little look at this artwork. There's like a caravan on the moon or something going on there. Is that what I'm seeing?
This one's from a game called Megalomaniacs that never even got made. I've had a crack at doing some music, not very good, but it's online if you want to have a listen. But these days, most of my fun mouse manoeuvring is just playing around in Photoshop making fun t-shirts for myself. And of course editing some kind of video for something. Oh, that flipping shadow.
Thank you, Pajaco. That was really good. Wow, you squeezed a huge amount into your 90 seconds there. What games did we have? We had Cannon Fodder. Or was that Cannon Fodder 2? Did you play Doom with a mouse? I don't think I played Doom with a mouse. We've got The Incredible Machine. We've got Day of the Tentacle. That means Defender of the Crown. Hollywood Poker Pro. What's this one? Because it reminds me of Battle Chess, but it isn't. I've not played this particular chess game. Click here for naughty videos. Oh, Battle Chess 3000. Okay, I didn't play that one. Nice. I'd really love to see those guys turned into something. Anyway, good video. On to the next one. Thank you, Pajaco. The next one comes from Chris with a K. Hello, Banjo Guy Ollie.
Hello, cave dwellers. You find me here. I've been looking in the garden and I found some wild mice. Specifically the Microsoft Explorer 3.0. I bought this mouse, fell in love with it.
It's well
so I
worn.
needed a spare, so I bought another one, because you know, you never need one. This one got a bit lonely, needed two. But then you know what happens when you get two. One's a boy, one's a girl.
Is that
And
what
then
happens?
things happen. So these were all free. I bought open this one during lockdown because I needed an extra mouse. As you can see, it's still even got the original wrapping on the cable. And then Microsoft went ahead and released the 3.0A, so I had to get one of them as well.
This man has a problem.
And you know, they served me for a very long time, but I just realised, well, they're not going to make any more. So I went to eBay and bought another one. And then I found out Microsoft have released the Pro IntelliMouse Classic, which is essentially an IntelliMouse Explorer 3.0. A bit lighter, not as heavy, a bit clickier, a bit cheaper. It feels cheaper, but it does have this lovely gradient shine from a silver to a white, just to remind you of the old IntelliMouse colours.
That's quite nice. That's Microsoft's equivalent of the Tank Mouse, I guess. They've brought out a kind of retro but perfectly usable mouse.
Anyway, back to Neil, the smooth voiced chap that he is in the cave. Bye-bye.
Bye. I didn't know Microsoft had brought out a new IntelliMouse, so now we all know. I might have to get one. The next one comes from our good friend Rich. I don't think I've got a Rich GIF, so you can have a table jump. Here's Richard.
The first thing I did with my mouse was plug it in, and I wondered what it was for. Having come from an 8-bit era, the mouse didn't make much sense to me. Thankfully, there was an app for that.
So just before we go on, Richard has got like a shrine going on here. Look, we've got behind him. We've got the Hoffman record. We've got the T-Breaks book. We've got the stickers, the mug. We got another mug, a really old mug. We've got a picture of Dave. Dave, if you're doing your ironing, just look behind the black gateway monitor. There's a picture of Dave in a kilt. What else am I seeing there? There's so much going on. Right, let's continue. A monster joystick as well.
The mouse didn't make much sense to me. Thankfully, there was an app for that.
Oh, is it like a
Second thing I
mouse
did was
tutorial?
open up Notepad using it. That was because my mum was in the room and I needed to do some homework. When she'd left the room, I then picked up the first of the packing titles, Amigas. I then used the mouse to play this. Initially, I found it uncomfortable. However, like many Amigans, I developed a tank mouse hand. From that moment on, any and all mouse shapes became tolerable. Only Amiga makes it possible. I used to suffer from ball fluff. Recently, thankfully, however, Chrissy Babs gave me a fix for that. Where were you in '88? Oh, and I don't want to leave without quickly mentioning the magical mouse moments. Playing Power Drone using a mouse to steer. Great fun.
I was always really impressed by the screenshots of Power Drone, but then slightly less impressed when I actually played it. This is clearly accelerated, I think.
Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Rich. Yeah, Power Drone. Bull Fluff was bad, but what I found worse... just heard myself say that out loud. What I found worse than Bull Fluff, and oh god, Banjo Guy Ollie, if he's still here, he's going to be ripping that clip. What I found worse than Bull Fluff was roller scum. You know, you'd get the scum on the balls, but you'd have the two rollers for the two axes in the mouse, and you'd have to either get your cotton bud with your IPA or whatever to clean it off, or if you're in a hurry, you just use your fingernail to kind of scrape it off. Glad those days are behind us. Yeah, scraping it off with a fingernail. Thank you, Rich. That was a good selection. Wasn't Amiga's part of that? Was it a 10 or a 12 pack of games that were all in like cassette cases and they were all numbered, weren't they? What was it called? I was going to say the Power Pack, but that's the Atari ST. 10-star pack. Thank you, Richard. Yeah, the 10-star pack. And I think I've managed to collect them all. But all the ones I've got need a really good clean. And then I'll get them out and display at some point because that will bring back a lot of memories for a lot of people. Pilek says it wasn't part of the Astra pack, but there were others. And Jake says the Super Nintendo mouse came with a bit of plastic for scratching off the roller scum. Handy accessory. Was it like a stick-on fingernail? Dave has sent me an image in my DMs. I think that means I need to open Discord. Bear with me. See what he's up to. Get an update from Dave in his ironing. Oh, I've got a DM. Show you a quick before. Hang on, I'm gonna have to download the image. Sorry, everyone. No, what I can do. I know what I can do. Save the image. Excuse me. We'll have an update very shortly from Dave. Save that one. Okay. Wow, that's a big picture. Hang on. Let's reduce the size of that. Okay, so there is a crushed box. That's what Dave started with. A big box. Denmark's MiG-29 is a huge box, if you haven't seen that one before, for the Atari ST. That's what he started with. And this is how he's got on. Unzoom and unenhance. After his ironing with his magnets. It's come up nice. It's come up flat. Hopefully, I mean, there's some little water spots there. Hopefully they'll dry out. I have noticed with some boxes, just some boxes, when you spray them with water, the water kind of gets underneath that artwork and causes little bubbles. Most of it's fine, but some just reacts in a slightly different way. It's weird how different boxes react. Oh, the watermark's already dry, so that's not a problem. Good. Yeah, sometimes you don't get them at all. It just wipes off. So there you go. He's flattened his crushed box with his ironing. I'd say that's a result. Well done, Dave. Remove those before they appear in next time's stream. Absolute mad lad, you said it, Corvid. Where did we get to? We had Rich, and the next one is Kosam. Let's see what Kosam did with a mouse.
My mouse game of choice is...
Hang on, there was a frame there. Very good.
Except for this one, of course. The Mighty Bullfrogs, Populous II. Amiga Format gave this a whopping 95% and awarded it the coveted Amiga Format Gold award. Here's a quick look at what's in the box. And remember kids, copying software is ungodlike. Anyway, after clicking these funky splash screens away, you can start creating your character. Be sure to note the generated password so you can continue where you left off. Then you're ready to play.
Hang on. That's just... I'm now in Populous, as is Mark Fixes stuff. Very good. I'm glad I didn't look away.
Which we'll do right after this word from our sponsors.
Was that Maria Whittaker? Is that who that is? Don't ask me.
Boulangerie. Haricot vert. Allemagne. Pour aller à la plage. Saint Noir. Eau de la Garde.
Wow.
Para tus fotos en lienzo acrílico, regalos y más. Artesanos locales y entrega global.
What is going on?
Imprenta. One click.
So, the aim of the game is simple. Annihilate your opponent's followers. The more followers you have, the more mana energy you gain, allowing you to unleash all kinds of full-on biblical if you like, drowning people, setting people on fire, or just blowing them away with a freak weather phenomenon.
I think at this point the game is just irrelevant after that.
Who doesn't? You'll just love this game. Populous II. My God, it's good.
Great. Sponsored by One Click. Very good. Where's the video?
My mouth.
Let's have a little look at that again. I particularly want to see One Click again.
Eau de la Garde.
Para tus fotos en lienzo acrílico, regalos y más. Artesanos locales y entrega global. Imprenta. One click.
So.
Oh, I really want One Click Print to sponsor me for another show so that I can just use that as the advert. Brilliant. Right, yeah, so Populous 2 was actually what was put forward. Yes, very good game. Good, let's move on. One Click, right, my learned friend. So this is David, who he came to Colouring in the Cave. Let's talk about that later, but I got to meet him last week, and it was fun. But here's his video.
I contemplated trying to be clever for this video and doing something like Mickey Mania or Biker Mice from Mars. I'd already done a video on No Second Prize, a motorcycle racing game controlled by mouse. But if you remember any of my other submissions, you might have noticed a theme. I've covered Toonstruck, Sam and Max, The Secret of Monkey Island, Zap McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders, and Broken Sword. So, unsurprisingly...
Hang on, was that £410? Good Lord. Plus £129 of additional costs. I think it was David who suggested this topic for this month.
So, unsurprisingly, I'm going to use this opportunity to talk about another point-and-click. The genre point-and-click, of course, describing exactly what a mouse does. But I'm going to pick one I never see mentioned. And I don't know why, because it's great. Come with me for some 1920s detective action. This is Cruise for a Corpse, a 1991 game on the Amiga. This is a beautiful, well-crafted game from Delphine Software, with one of the best intros on an Amiga game. It cleverly uses polygons of the main character, Inspector Raoul de Saint-Pierre, a guest on a hunt for a murderer on a yacht, overlaid on beautiful backgrounds. It's got shifting graphical perspectives for interviewing fellow guests, which you do with deep conversation trees to uncover hidden motives.
I always thought it was really cool in this game, in the 3D bits, like when you're walking around the deck of the boat, the character, because it's 3D, he can come from afar and he scales up really nicely, and then he walks all the way into the camera and it goes blank, and then it switches to his back and he walks away from the camera. I always thought that was really cool.
Begin to piece the mystery together. It's just incredibly atmospheric, and it's a real Agatha Christie-esque affair. I'm just happy to give it some retro love and recognition. This could be a good one for a Twitch stream, you know. Better than Codename Iceman.
Oh, he's going to do
anyway,
it. This is what I was talking
Neil
about.
In the studio.
The overriding memory I have of that game is the loading times, because I was playing it from floppy disk, but I would love to go back and revisit it with a WHD load and a slightly accelerated Amiga, and it's probably a nice one, especially with a walkthrough so we can see all the game. I remember exactly where I got that game from. It was from a chap on the other side of town who had all his Amigas and his loads of disk drives and hard drives and everything in the loft of his parents' house, and he would charge you to pirate games, and I think I ended up paying like a £5 for it or something, because it was quite a few discs. So if I'd just saved a bit more, I could have probably just bought the boxed version of it. So I was a dirty pirate. It might have been you, Bazza. Where did you live? What was your address? But yeah, I remember really wanting that when I saw it in Amiga format, so I hunted it down. I got a copy, and I can't say I completed it because the load times got to me in the end. But it's up there with those other Delphine adventure games. You just copy them over a used cover disc. I think I even provided my... I think I got stitched up here. I think I provided my own discs. And I think he knew how much I wanted this game, so he just sort of charged me a small fortune for it. He would have got a few packets of cigarettes out of that. So, my learned friend, David, thank you very much. On to Ralph next. Let's see what Ralph has for us.
Hello, Neil. Hello, cave dwellers. What did I do with a mouse? Come with me down memory lane. I have to confess that my first computer was a Mac. One of those pizza box LC3s. And
Nice.
of course, as a Mac, it came with a mouse. My last classic Mac was a Performa 6400.
Performa 6400. Sorry, I just had a sausage fly across my screen and a pillock. That's a nice look. I've never seen that one before. I really like it. The sort of rounded edges to it. It feels like it's between Mac eras. Not quite old, but not quite new. I like that.
With its elegant but understated design. But after that, there came the Mac drought. with not a single machine offered in stores anymore. So buying over the internet became the only option. But Steve decided not to sell his gear in my country. Wanting a new computer, my next system became a Dell Dude. And on this one, you could install other operating systems. Out of pure excitement and what seemed like endless possibilities, I installed Linux. And that's when I learned that not all operating systems featured a graphic user interface.
And he hasn't had a mouse since.
And that way before rodents conquered the desk, there was just command line. What did I do with a mouse then? Up to that fateful day when I got my first PC, absolutely everything. Then I installed that Linux, and at first I was afraid, scared of every bit and every byte. Kept thinking I could never live without a rodent by my side. But then I spent so many nights reading manuals hour long. And
we need to fade the music in.
Learned it was text-based all along, and I'm gonna stop that. As for today, I often prefer text-based command line to using a mouse. Thank you for letting me share, and back to you. Hello, Neil.
Thank you, Ralph. Hello again. Is the message that we take away from that anyone who uses Linux will survive? Is that what they sing to themselves? I will survive. Nice. I mean, if you started out with a Mac, yeah, you had a mouse from the start. Enough of CLI, says Retro Sato. I will sudo or I will sudo. Nice, thank you very much for that, Ralph. An insight into Ralph's having to leave the Mac behind because Steve wouldn't sell him any. He's on first name terms with Steve, obviously. James B. What would I do with a mouse? Let's find out what James would do.
I do hope the scroll wheel's more conspicuous.
Hang on, do we need to read that? Episode 4, A New Mouse. As the mouse began to show signs of age, with the horrible yellowing you so often see in older pointer lords, he felt it was time. Time to regenerate, you see. Pointer lords have this little trick. It means they'll change and you won't see them again. This daft old cable... Oh, hang on. Well, not like this. Not with this daft old cable and gunky scroll wheel. Before they go, they just want to tell you. You performed an illegal operation and the computer must restart. There we go. It's kind of cheating if in your 90 seconds you make me spend 40 seconds reading the text on the screen, but let's go.
I do hope the scroll wheel's more conspicuous. Ooh, buttons! I've got one button! True simulation game with a very special location.
Meticulous experience.
Yes, quality game. We'll just pause there for the copyright strike. A bit more. A bit more. Did we get away with it, do you think? Might need to pause it again. We're not getting away with this. Let's just go with it.
Robert Foster visits the cave.
What do you want? Weren't you told? Routine inspection. Nobody told me. I'm too busy to show you around.
I never had the talkie version of that.
Don't worry, I can show myself around. You won't even notice I'm here. What are you doing? Get out! That's my personal property!
We've got Mark fixes stuff in the cupboard and some Scotch eggs, of course. Or you could be really sad and spend hours making this in Final Cut and motion. Okay, thank you, James. So James liked SimCity 2000, which is, I think we all love that game, and Beneath a Steel Sky. There's a little R in the window on the right. Good choices. Well done, James. You've become quite the regular with your videos now, and I really look forward to them. So thank you. Naoki is next. Let's see what he's got for us. James, let's see what he's got for us. We're going to have to read that, aren't we? So Naoki says, I would say I'll play the xylophones, but my percussion ability is bad. Asnivor says, the fact that you use the plural intrigues me. No matter your ability, I want to see you play more than one at a time. 3 laughy faces. My learned friend, no, we demand Naoki plays 2 different xylophones simultaneously. Rich makes a note in diary, never forget Naoki playing multiple xylophones. I missed this whole conversation in Discord. Kosam, I think you're all here in chat as well. You can play your xylophones with a mouse. My learned friend, can we have the performance in the next patron-submitted video, please, Naoki? Fine. So, right, okay, we're going to get it. Let's see what happens.
Fine.
That's not a xylophone. Sounds like one though. Yes, it is. Sad Neil music. Well, I'm impressed. That was really good. We'll let you off for the fake xylophones. I did see a smashed up Atari ST in the middle there somewhere. It's missing all its keys, and it says a MIDI wire broke is what the sticker says on the top of it. And he did play with the mouse using whatever this musical typing music box thing was. Look, there's the Atari. All smashed up. It was like a sad song for the Atari. Some nice full-size keyboards there as well. Is that a full-size keyboard? I think that's a full-size keyboard. Something Yamaha something on the bottom. I don't know what I'm talking about, but they look nice, and I'd like to play with them. The label changed. Did the label change? Didn't it? Hang on. So we had a MIDI wire broke. Send help. It says on the Atari. I think it says something else there. I can't quite make it out. I think it ends in Amiga. Oh. I've just dragged the thing off the screen now. I don't know where it's gone. Yeah, that's gone. Yeah, that's well gone. It just shot out the side of the screen. So, you'll have to tell us what that said. Get the final frame. I can. Yeah. Thank you. No, you'll have to show us in Discord if there was what the other label was. The next one comes from Controller Reese. Let's see what he's got for us.
You want me to do it again, don't you?
Hang on. Right, right. I've messed up everything. Let's centralize. Reese. Okay. Good. What do we want you to do again?
Don't you? Fine. What up, Cavesters? It's your boy back again with another banger.
Yo.
And this month I've been told I need to talk about Mouses! These whack things that old people used with their computers back in the 1950s. Of course, I wouldn't know about any of that, so I had to ask an old geezer to hit me up with the deets. So check it out.
Nice. Having the takeouts.
Greetings, Cave Dweller. I am the Cave Master.
Sick, bruv.
Indeed, my vintage computing knowledge was becoming too powerful, so I was imprisoned in this fortress by an
This is really disturbing.
evil turtle. Now I dispense pointless facts about obsolete technology to anyone who will listen.
Cool.
He's in the cave.
What is it that you seek, my child?
Well, tell me a well-wicked fact about this thing.
Ah yes, the mouse. I'm intimately familiar with this device. Well, did you know that the original 1993 release of Doom supported the WASD and mouse control scheme, often considered to be a modern invention? In fact, it's been Doom co-creator John Romero's preferred way of playing the game since day one.
Well, that answers our earlier question. He was playing Doom with a mouse earlier.
No way! That's well sound!
We're going to come back to that.
Quite. Just don't forget to install the Novert DOS TSR to stop back and forth movement with the mouse. Are we done here?
Alright, yeah. Cheers, bruv. Safe.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, thank you, Reese. Well, there's plenty of fodder in that video for future live stream animations. There's one bit in particular.
You want me to?
I think it's this bit.
No way! That's well sound!
What is that?
No way! That's well sound!
Whip sound! Good. Thank you, Reese.
You want me to do it again, don't you?
It's the head. What is that? Right, enough of that. Thank you, Reese. We've got two more. The next one is Retro Boy. Let's see what Retro Boy spelled. Retro BOI. So I don't know if you're about to get some competition, Reese.
Hello everyone.
You're off the screen. Let's put you back on the screen there.
Everyone. Things I did with the mouse. Well, I started quite a long time ago in having an Amiga in Workbench. Then I sold the Amiga.
I feel like we've had a lot more Amiga content than we normally do. I mean, the Amiga usually gets a look in, but there's a lot of Amiga going on. I feel like I should apologise to Dave. Sorry, Dave. We need some more. If you want the Atari ST to be represented more, Dave, you've got to send some videos in.
And in Windows 95, I used it for Paint, obviously, and spreadsheets. Did quite a little bit on Windows 3.1, being secondary school as well. Moving to Amiga games, my favorite game was Cannon Fodder. Also
Nice.
now the Mega Drive version, but I think the Amiga version with the mouse really easier, much better to control.
You can't be playing Cannon Fodder on the Mega Drive. It's got to have a mouse.
Then moving to PC games, my favorite
Commandos was brilliant.
is Commandos series. Also, I think when playing PC games like first-person shooters, I would say I do like aiming with the mouse. I find it more natural than playing, let's say, consoles. So my favorites will be Medal of Honor for PC, Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Nice.
Play quite a lot of Diablo as well, mainly the first one. Then Warcraft. And a little bit of Quake 2 as well to finish. I still do prefer to play with the mouse and keyboard. Thank you.
Thank you. Some nice suggestions. I do find it funny now because the few members of the public that we've had in who have been, I guess, like, I don't know, under 16, you know, kids that have come into the cave, like my nephew and my niece who have come in to play on things. One of the machines has Unreal Tournaments running on it, and it's the classic mouse WSAD setup, and they just can't get on with it at all because all of their first-person shooting, like Fortnite mostly is what they've played, has all been done on the Switch, so it's just 2 thumbsticks. So they just don't know how to use the mouse. Well, they know how to use a mouse, but you know they don't have the coordination to use the keyboard and the mouse accurately for first-person shooters. Made me feel old. Sorry, James, have I insulted you by calling Fortnite an FPS? Our last video comes from Tim, aka The Voice. Let's see what Tim's got for us.
Greetings, cave dwellers.
Greetings. Let's put you in the middle of the screen. I don't know why they've all gone off the screen. And I might have to steal that clip as well for future episodes.
Greetings, cave dwellers. There have probably been 30 million videos at this point about the joys of the Amiga Tank Mouse, or the ST Mouse, or the Mac Mouse, or the Kempston Mouse. In fact, I didn't even get a mouse until I got my hands on my first PC, which was an Olivetti PCS 8086, so no Windows 3.1 for me at this point. By the way, does anyone fancy a Scotch egg?
Yes.
I know I do. But before I even got my hands on Windows for the first time and discovered the joys of MS Paintbrush, which would allow you to draw as many Scotch eggs as you liked, as well as various parts of the male anatomy, admit it, you all did it, there was one piece of software which, as far as my memory serves, must have been my introduction to the mouse in late 1990, early 1991. And mouse training tools don't get much better than Eye of the Beholder.
Beautiful.
I'd never played a game with the mouse before this, and the dance you had to do with the mouse in order to move around, select your weapons, attack, cast spells, shuffle inventory items, throw...
Sorry, I've accidentally reduced Tim's voice. Let me turn it back up again. I had to add a filter because it was a bit quiet and I've accidentally knocked it off. Here we go.
Things at things that are attacking you with their things. It was quite the mouse training tool. Almost as good as using MS Paint to draw large eggplants. So for now, I'll leave you with this footage of me trying to remember how to play Eye of the Beholder after some 15 odd years. Back to the studio. Amazing. I didn't make one joke about mouse balls.
Good game, thank you, Tim. Watching these videos, I was thinking, and I think we were chatting about it in Discord earlier in the week, that I don't remember the time when I first used a mouse. I don't remember thinking, oh, so this is a mouse. So this feels weird. How does this work? Just one day it wasn't there, the next day it was normal. I don't remember that shift. The only time I remember sitting down and using a mouse and going, this is awkward, this is weird, this is getting in the way of using the computer, was when the first iMacs came out and I had to install one for a graphic designer at work. He was the only one with a Mac, everyone else had PCs. So I set it up and it had the puck mouse. So I plugged it all in, turned it on, and I had to click on all the various license agreements and whatever to get it set up. And immediately just felt, oh, this is weird. If you've ever used the round puck mouse, it's horrible. And I don't know how he did his job with that thing. He didn't get an upgrade. He just used that mouse. So this is a game that I used to play with a mouse. And I'm just going to show you it quickly because it's bizarre. We'll just go from the start of the game. You know what's coming, Kitson. This game has awful controls. I managed to find it on Good Old Games today. So I might have to stream it or something. Let's skip the intro. Here I come. Trotting. So, what happens is I've got WSAD to move about, and then my mouse is controlling my arm. So if I move the mouse up, the sword goes up, move the mouse down, down, right, left. So I have complete manual analog control of the sword. And this is how you fight. So this dude, you just kind of wave your sword around and hope to make contact. There are some gruesome kind of meat slashing sound effects that go on as well. But he shouts lots of swears. Right, got him. And then you can kind of slash him up a bit while he's on the floor. So that's what I used to do with a mouse. We're going to hit that lever. Hang on. How do we push the lever? I'm struggling with that clearly gigantic lever. Pull the lever now. There it is. And look, I've put the sword away now, so I could just sort of slap people if I want. Wave the arm around. Or give them a wave. Hi! It's as close as I can get to a wave. I've just run with my arm in the air. Hi! Hang on, let's put this... I want to slap him. For the slap. There you go, give him a slap. Oh, I'm gonna need the sword. And I'm dead. Oh no, I'm still alive, but you get the idea. You get the idea. Let's quit out of that. One for you, Dean, to stream in future. And we're back in the room. Good. So that was called Die by the Sword, with the analog arm waving. Another game that I used to play, which I've just thought of, and I'm going to see if I can get it up on the screen. I think it was this. It wasn't Virtual Pool 4, it was like Virtual Pool 1. Here we go, 1995. After the Honey Challenge. So who had this? So the beauty of this with Virtual Pool was you drew the mouse back and it drew the cue back, and you could kind of do your stroke with the snooker cue, and then you would slam the mouse forward to hit the ball. And I remember this not only because of the mouse, but because also, well, it replaced, I think, Jimmy White's snooker for me. It really took it up a level with that analog mouse cue control. But also, I remember I got it from a bulletin board. Wasn't quite fully hooked up on the internet. 95, I think I would have had some access, but I was still going on BBS's, using a friend's laptop at his uncle's house when he was at work. We would plug into the phone line, so we didn't have to pay for it. And I remember we downloaded this, and it would fit on one disc, so we each took a copy from the laptop and took it home. put it on our PCs. And yeah, it was just good. How long will the stream go? Probably about 30 minutes more, something like that. We haven't got a lot more to cover. So if you, I didn't know there was a Virtual Pool 4 as I did a search there. So the series obviously went on. Yeah, and I think there was a Virtual Snooker as well. Satis is pretty sure there was a Konami game where you could win money and had an actual cue and ball. Nice. Gizmo isn't around. She was earlier. I think she's gone into her igloo for a sleep. Sorry about that. So Virtual Pool, and that was from SquakeNet. SquakeNet. Thank you for letting us watch your channel.